kids, Rex here. Welcome to week 5, day 1. Today's reflection question. Actually, I want you to come up with the question. Come up with your best reflection question, and I'm going to ask your questions to your peers. So come up with that question and let me know, and I'll get them out to you day 2 and next week's. See ya. Thanks, Rex. That'll be fun. Yeah, come up with some reflection questions for us, and Rex will get them out to you. That'll be fun. All right, we've got 10 agenda items. You'll notice I'm not actually wearing the headphones because it took me a month to realize I didn't need to listen to anything. Wow. But we're all learning here in distance learning. All right, 10 agenda items. 1, I'm going to talk about Ramadan. 2, keep active, keep healthy. 3, the mystery box. 4, birthdays. 5, more favorite sayings. 6, distance learning. I've got some updates about distance learning. 7 is routines. I'm going to talk about routines, the importance of routines. Agenda item 8 is challenging yourself. I've got a little challenge for yourselves in developing new skills. Agenda item 9 is the show and tell. And then agenda item 10 is a little update about our vocabulary. All right. Agenda item 1 is Ramadan. So happy Ramadan, our Muslim friends. That's awesome. So it looks like Ramadan this year is from April 23rd through May 23rd. And it is a month of prayer, fasting, and community within the Muslim community. So just all those celebrating Ramadan, alhamdulillah, and inshallah, you will have a wonderful Ramadan and be well with your family. All right, agenda item 2, keeping active and keeping healthy. And with that, I'm filming this on Friday. I thought I'd wear my running shorts. I'm going out running after that. I know how important for my own mental health it is. It's beautiful out, 62 degrees out right now on Friday. It's sunny. I'm also wearing my track shirt. As many of you, I'm sure, are aware, the spring sports have been canceled, so I thought I'd wear this today, too, in keeping with keeping active, keeping healthy. It's so important to your mental health that you move your body around, keep physically active. Not only is it helping, again, your body process those things which it needs to process efficiently, but it just helps you clear your mind and build up your mental fortitude. So make sure you're keeping active. I've been chatting with the students out there daily, and it sounds like people are getting into routines of either roller skating, bike riding with families, or going on nature hikes with their brothers and sisters. So it's really fun seeing all the creative ways you are keeping active. So keep up that great work. Item 3, the mystery box, has been going over very well. I'm not going to tell you the first 2 items of last week. Again, once you move on, you snooze, you lose. If you don't call, I'm not going back and showing all those cool other things. So make sure you're calling in. I've had some students calling in every single the first 2 days, so I look forward to having those Zoom meetings with you this week and showing you what's in the box. I've got some fun stuff this week planned, and I really enjoyed sharing with you the last week's stuff. So mystery box has been going well. Shout out to Noah. You even showed me one of your trophies. That was cool. I got a show and tell when you got to see what's in the mystery box. So good job, Noah. Aaron, Silas, Mackenzie C, Mackenzie N, David, Nick P, Maddie, Lily, Nick R, Sophie, Grace T, Ella, and Tyler. Awesome job. Thank you for calling me. It was really fun having those Zoom meetings and sharing with you what's in the mystery box. Keep it up. All right, agenda item 4, birthday alert. The one that I forgot last week was Maddie. So happy birthday to you, Maddie. And then also I found out Friday, today, for me, Ella S. It's your birthday over the weekend. So happy birthday, Ella, turning 13. All right, we got some teenagers in the house now. And if I'm not going through the computer to see whose birthday is, these are just students sharing with me, I will shout out your birthdays if you let me know when they are. That's cool too. Agenda item number 5. We've got some more favorite sayings. The first one is from Sophie. Her favorite saying is, play hard, play smart. She's an athlete. I appreciate that saying. As an athlete and a coach myself, I like that. Absolutely. Get out there. You're a competitor. Play hard. But you got to be smart too. And that's the great thing about competition, is that you're being put into a very extreme situation. You're being put into a situation which your mind
is competing against others. You want to be victorious, and so you have to be cool, keep yourself collected. You have to be calm while getting your heart pumping and putting yourself in a very extreme and agitated sometimes state of mind, but keeping cool under pressure. So I like that.
Play hard, but play smart, which is very hard to do sometimes. It's hard to play smart when your adrenaline's pumping, your heart's beating, and
you maybe even just got hit with hockey, or you got shoved a little bit, and the ref didn't see it in soccer, and so your mind might be getting emotionally distracted, but you have to play smart.
So I like that one. Play hard, play smart. Thank you, Sophie. And then another one is from Zoe this week. Working is not good unless you're working hard. I like that. It reminded me of something The Rock, he always says, I will always be the hardest working person in any room I go into. And that's his key to success, is being a hard worker. And that's, I follow him on Instagram. I watch it. He posts videos pretty often. And so I watch his videos, and he attributes all of his success into how hard he actually works. So I like that. Working is not good unless you're working hard. Thanks, Zoe. All right, I'll continue going through those Rex reflections from that one. That was a really fun one to share, those motivational sayings. Agenda item 6, distance learning. Again, I'm recording this on Friday. You probably heard on Thursday the Governor Walz has extended the distance learning for the state. All schools are to remain closed for the remainder of the school year. That was hard news for me as a teacher. I miss all of you, all of my students so much. I'm not going to say I was surprised. I kind of saw that coming, but we are now going to continue distance learning for the remainder of the school year. So with that, some updates. We don't have school this Friday. That's May 1st. So May 1st, we don't have school. And also the following next Monday, May 4th, we don't have school. Those were not originally planned days off. Instead, us teachers are going to be collaborating together to wrap our minds about how we're going to continue providing you all with the best education and educational services that you need. So they're teacher planning days. They're not school days for you. So you get Friday and Monday off. So again, May 1st and May 4th. This Friday and next Monday you have off. Those are new days off for you, because us teachers are going to be working hard and planning and looking at what distance learning will look like for the rest of the school year here. I guarantee you it's going to continue. I want to hear Zoom calls. I've really enjoyed chatting with you all and helping you with whatever you need, but more than anything, just having some human connection. I know that this is all a hard time for us all, but we'll get through it, and we'll rely on each other. All right, routines. Agenda item 7 are routines. With this new this extended period of distance learning and being socially distancing, as we hear more from the Governor Walz about what social distancing will look like as we move forward and as we progress managing our COVID-19 pandemic. Routines are going to be incredibly important for your mental health. And so for myself, some routines that I'm finding in my life are self-care routines. Waking up at reasonable hours, not staying in bed. I mean, I have work to do, and so that forces me to do that. But making sure I am punctual with that and brushing my teeth right away, just like I would if I was going to leave my apartment. Sometimes, you might fall in the routine. I'm not really leaving anywhere, so I might brush my teeth a couple hours later. Get up at the same time, brush your teeth. I'm taking a shower in the morning rather than slowly preparing breakfast and pancakes. And nope, I get up, I brush my teeth, I take my shower, and then I go and prepare my breakfast. So I've got that routine down. And you've heard from me multiple times, just like I'm going to do today. At 3:15, I check out from work. I'm going for a run. I
you'll notice I do come back to work after those runs a lot of times, since we are so connected to our devices, and I find myself recording in the evenings or messaging students whenever, because I've got nothing else to do because I'm sitting in my apartment. But at 3:15, I am out that door. I'm out in the sun because it's the most beautiful part of the day, especially on a day like today. So routines, have them. They are incredibly important to your mental well-being, and so keep it up. And I challenge you to think very consciously and be aware of the routines you have in your life. Bringing us to agenda item 8. I'm going to challenge you in a different way. I'm going to challenge you in this time again of prolonged distance learning, where you are perhaps isolated from your friends. You're going to find yourself with a lot of time that you probably wouldn't have normally had. You probably would have been outside playing or bicycling to the gas station to pick up some licorice or whatever it is you would normally be doing. We're now social distancing in a way we had never done, and so you probably have a lot more time to yourself. With that, I challenge you to develop a new skill. Some skill. Maybe you want to learn how to play the guitar. Maybe you've your mom or dad or aunt has a guitar laying around and you want to learn. There's a lot of YouTube videos. Do it yourself. Learn how. I've got a lot of friends that have taught themselves the guitar. I myself am learning how to do video editing. I've always wanted to be really good at video editing, splicing songs and skydiving footage and base jumping footage. You know I'm a skydiver and base jumper, and I have those GoPros that I put on top of my helmet. I have tons of footage. I've never done anything with them, though. A lot of my friends on social media, I see them posting their cool videos. I never knew how to do that, nor did I really set aside time in my life before now to learn how to do that. And my girlfriend is into acting. She's into improvisational comedy, and she's always been around she has been around movie editing and knows how to edit. So she is teaching me how to do video editing, because now I'm finding myself video recording for my daily lessons. And so I'm going to take this time and learning a new skill. I'm going to learn how to be pretty good at video editing. So I'm excited about that. Challenge yourself to learn a new skill as we kind of hunker down into a prolonged distance learning and learn something out of this whole experience. Agenda item 9 is our show and tell. All right. 7th graders, you need to get with the program. Only Malia has shared with us, Malia B, so thank you very much. That's for she shared us with this duck. What duck was in her backyard? I'm not sure where that is, but that's cool. I've seen a lot of ducks. It's springtime, they're coming back. That looks like a mallard. But I've seen merganser ducks, grebes, some very interesting, beautiful looking ducks around. And then this was shot on Wednesday night. I didn't have time to shoot my middle school success class. This is actually a screen grab from the classroom video that I recorded for them. And we did I did a class from this, that's Mercury, my nephew's playhouse. So him and I did a shoot. So if you want to follow me on YouTube, you can go watch that video. It's pretty cute, middle school success. Jordan Ermer, subscribe to me on YouTube. I'm going to have millions of subscribers with my educational videos. That's our show and tell. Please, 7th graders, step it up. It's been fun seeing you, what you're up to. I love ducks. I mean, we're going to be hunkering down into distance learning. So please, those are not assigned. That's not an assignment show and tell, that weekly show and tell link. It's not worth points, but please, I know we all miss that human connection, seeing our friends or the things we're up to. Maybe we'll be inspired by the pictures you share of things we can go out and do or see. So please share those pictures in your show and tell. I know myself, and I've heard from the students, your friends, we like seeing those pictures. So please share with the show and tell 7th grade. My 6th graders are doing awesome with that. I'd just like to see more content from us. And I want to see more content from you 7th graders. All right, that's it. Our vocabulary lesson. It's a word sort. So you have new words. You found the definitions last week. Great job. I've reviewed those of you who turned in and created your Google Doc and submitted that. You did good work identifying the parts of speech and the definitions of our new words. You need to continue studying those. A part of your new routine will be studying those vocabulary words 10 minutes a day. You'll see live this week, there's a link to Quizlet and a link to those Word Hero and Word Builder games. You can play those as part of your study if you want to have fun with it. Get into Quizlet, get into those Word Hero and Word Builder games. The links are in Schoology and are in this week's folder. But I expect you to be studying these vocab words 10 minutes a day at least. Expect a quiz on this next week. All right, your word sort today. We've done this before. You're going to be sorting words into 3 categories. The first category is going to be the words you know already. What of these 12 words did you already know? The second list is going to be words you didn't know anything about. So those 2 are pretty simple. The third one is going to be identifying what parts of speech each of the words falls into. And your work last week should have helped you with that. So those are your 3 sorts. Little tip that I'm giving you, when you get into your document, you'll notice you have to delete. There's a whole bunch of lines. And in school, when we had those packets, you could just handwrite on the lines. Well, since you're doing it in a Google document, you have to actually delete those lines and type the word in. Hopefully you can troubleshoot that. If you have any troubles, just send me a message in Schoology. I'll send you a Zoom link and we can video chat. I'll show you what's in the mystery box and I'll help you through that. But I think most of you will figure that out. All right, that's that. Oh yeah, word. Let's do our read aloud. We're going to be finishing this up. I bet it's going to be a few weeks until we finish, but I really like this book by Jerry Spinelli, Loser. Let's see what's happening with Zinkoff today. Also, I don't know where my duck went and my duck calls, so I'm a little bummed out. I can't do any duck calls, so I'm still looking for figuring that out. I thought it was here during a video, so I mean, did I move it somewhere? If you saw me move it somewhere, can you just message me, let me know where that duck and the calls went? It's been like a week, and you know how much I love those calls. Chapter 18, Best Friend. It isn't a schoolwork test. There has been nothing to study for. There has been no warning. One day in 5th grade, the teacher, Mrs. Shankfelder, simply passes out booklets with blue covers. Barry Peterson says, "Is this a test?" And she says no, she calls it some big word. But Zinkoff looks at it and sees that there are questions and there are little egg spaces to fill in for answers. It's a test. Every other school test Zinkoff has ever taken has been about some classroom subject. Arithmetic, geography, spelling. This test seems to be about himself. What does he think about this? Why does he do that? Which one of these does he prefer? Halfway through, Zinkoff has to admit this is the first test he has ever taken that is almost fun. It's one more thing this year that makes him feel grown up. Most of the answers come easily to him until on the next to last page he arrives at a question that stumps him. Who is your best friend? Unlike most of the other questions, this one isn't multiple choice. No little eggs to fill in, just a blank line that needs a name. If he had this test back in 2nd grade, he would have filled in Andrew Orwell's name. But Andrew, his neighbor, has long since moved, and no obvious replacement comes to mind. Oh, sure, Zinkoff has friends. There's Bucky Monastra, who he plays marbles with, and Peter Grillett, the second sloppiest kid in class, and Katie Snelson, who smiles at him every time she sees him. Friends all, but not best friends. He knows what a best friend is. He sees them all over. Best friends are Bert O'Neill and George Underkoffler, or Ellen Dabney and Ronnie Joe Thomas. Best friends are always together, always whispering and laughing and running, always at each other's house, having dinner, sleeping over. They are practically adopted by each other's parents. You can't pry them apart. Zinkoff doesn't have anybody like that. Most of the time, he doesn't think about it, but now and then he does. He wonders what it would be like to be so stuck to another kid that you could walk into his kitchen and his mother wouldn't even look up because she's that used to you. And she would say, "Wash your hands and sit down, you're late for dinner." It seems kind of neat thinking of it that way, and sometimes he regrets he doesn't have a best friend. But then he usually thinks about his own mother and his father and Polly, and he thinks about the 900 block of Willow, and he figures he's doing okay. Until he comes to this question: who is your best friend? And that blank space seems to be saying to him, if you don't have one, you'd better get one. My best friend is Renee Baca. I hope you're watching this. He's a teacher in Edina. He teaches 5th grade. And we're talking about a way to socially distance and have a barbecue because that's such an important part of our lives. Barbecuing together. He skips over the question to finish the rest of the test. He returns to it. Time is passing. Pretty soon, Mrs. Shankfelder will say, "Pencils up." Best friend, best friend. "One more minute," says Mrs. Shankfelder, who does not usually give a warning. He panics. He looks around the classroom. Too bad if the teacher thinks he's cheating. His eyes settle on Hector Binns, way up in the first row. Hector's head is down, his shoulders hunched. He's working away on the test. Hector Binns has been in Zinkoff's class since 1st grade, so of course Zinkoff knows who he is. Over the years, they have found themselves at the same water fountain or monkey bar room. But Hector Binns, being a B, has always sat far from Zinkoff. And Zinkoff's information about him is spotty at best. This is the sum of what he knows. Hector Binns wears glasses. He is about Zinkoff's height. He loves black licorice. Same. And he's always cleaning out his ear with a paperclip. Ooh, that sounds dangerous. And now that he thinks of it, there's one more thing. As far as Zinkoff knows, Hector Binns is available. He has no best friend either. Pencils up! Quickly, he fills in the blank, misspelling both first and last names. Hector Binns. He spells Binns with a Z. He can hardly wait for recess. He finds Hector Binns by the bicycle rack, working on his ear with a paperclip. "Hi, Hector," he says. "What's up?" "Huh?" replies Hector Binns. Zinkoff repeats, "What's up?" But Hector doesn't seem to hear. Maybe his hearing goes bad when the paperclip is in his ear. Otherwise, he doesn't seem unfriendly, so Zinkoff just stands there. Binns goes at his ear with a gusto that Zinkoff has never noticed before. He digs and scrapes, and wincing in pain or pleasure, Zinkoff can't tell which. He pulls out the paperclip and examines it. To Zinkoff's eye, it's clean. Binns plunges it into the other ear. Dig, scrape, wince. This time the clip comes out with a tiny waxy orangish crumb clinging to the end of it. Binns pulls from his pants pocket a small brown plastic bottle, the kind that pills come in. He brings the bottle to his mouth, and for an instant, Zinkoff thinks he's going to eat it, but he simply pulls off the white flip-top cap with his teeth. What do you think he's going to do? He taps the paperclip on the rim of the bottle, and in falls the waxy crumb. Ew! Zinkoff notices that the bottle is half full. Binns returns bottle and paperclip to his pocket. Only then does Binns seem to notice that he is not alone. The obvious question crawls to the front of Zinkoff's tongue, but somehow he holds it back. "So," he says, "who did you answer for best friend?" Binns pulls out a pack of black licorice sticks from another pocket. He rips off half a stick and begins to chew. "Nobody," he says. "Really?" says Zinkoff. "You left it blank? Can you do that?" Binns shakes his head. Except for that first moment, his eyes never meet Zinkoff's. He always seems to be looking into the beyond. "I wrote nobody, the word nobody." "Oh," says Zinkoff, nodding, thinking he understands. "Nobody. Okay." Binns stuffs the rest of the stick into his mouth and returns the pack to his pocket. Nobody is my lizard. Zinkoff stares at the eyes that stare at the beyond. Suddenly he gets it. Oh, you have a lizard named Nobody. Binns blinks, which Zinkoff takes for a nod. And put him down as your best friend. Another blink. Okay, I got it. Hector Binns collects earwax and has a lizard named Nobody, who he calls his best friend. Zinkoff figures his choice is looking better by the minute. No, who I put down? He says. No, says Binns. You, says Zinkoff. Binns blinks. His eyes disconnect from the beyond and slide over to Zinkoff's face. Huh? He says. Zinkoff grins. Yeah, I put your name down. Binns' eyelids flap as if they're trying to take off. Me? Why? Because I had to put somebody's name down, and I thought of you. But I'm not your best friend. I know, and I'm not yours either, but I thought maybe we could be. I mean, since I wrote your name down and all. Hector Binns isn't answering. His eyes have gone back to the beyond. Zinkoff doesn't know the word negotiation, but that's what this is. He tries to think of something he can offer, something to sweeten the pot. I make a mean snickerdoodle cookie, he blurts. Binns' left cheek bulges out as he chews on his licorice wad. When his teeth reappear, they're outlined in black, as if cartoon drawn. As a fifth grader, Zinkoff knows cool when he sees it. He takes a stab at cool himself. He shuffles his feet. He hooks his thumb into his waistband. He gazes off into a beyond of his own. So, he says, tossing in a shrug, what do you think? Making it sound like, not that I care one way or another. Binns sniffs. He turns his head until he's looking down over his right shoulder. His lips slide to the side of his face. The far corner of his mouth opens like a little eye, and out comes a black dollop of licorice juice. It falls to the ground. And at last he speaks and answers Zinkoff's held-back question. What I think is, when I get enough wax, I'm going to make a candle. Wow, an earwax candle. Zinkoff is willing to bet that Binns has not shared this blockbuster information with anyone else in class. The end of recess bell rings. The two of them trot side by side to the door. See you after school, said Zinkoff. Binns says, I guess. What do you think? You think this best friend will stick? The earwax candle? Here, hold up. Got somebody at the door. I'll see if we've got ourselves a guest. Hey, kids. Courage Cougar here. Has he found a duck and goose yet? I'm a cougar. I'm good at climbing. I mess with him. Yeah. See you next time. Nobody again. Ding dong, what the heck? Window. Somebody come in? Oh man, did you see somebody? You gotta let me know. This is not good.